Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Daniel-san. Well, I think about 85 or 90% of the fragrance reviewers on YouTube has done a review on this, except for me and maybe a few other people. So I thought today would be a excellent day to do a review on this. About a month and a half, 2 months ago, somebody wanted me to or requested that I do a fragrance review on this, and I'm actually just now getting to it. But this is Nuit pour Homme by Armaf. I'll give you some basic facts about this, but got a question for y'all. It doesn't matter when you see this review. Tell me right now, as soon as you start watching this, tell me what fragrance you have on right now. Today, I'm going to have 3 different fragrances on. This morning, I put this on to refresh my memory about how this is, preparing for this review. Probably after this review in the next couple of hours, I'm probably going to be wearing, as my fragrance of the day, Pinot Silvestre Oud Absolute. I actually really like this. I actually like this better than Pinot Silvestre Original, the pine tree fragrance. I actually like this a lot better than the original. Not too many people in the fragrance community has even heard of this, but it's really, really good fragrance. And later on tonight, I'm probably going to do an experiment on 2 fragrances, layering them together. As a matter of fact, I'll mention that in a minute. But tell me what your fragrance of the day is right now, what you have on right now. I'm always curious about that. I always like to know what everybody's wearing. But some basic facts about this. Très Nuit pour Homme by Armaf. This is a green Irish tweed clone. This sounds like it was made in France, but it's actually not. It was actually created and made in the United Arab Emirates. This came out in 2015. I've never actually heard anybody mention what Très Nuit means, but it actually literally translates from French to English, meaning very night. Now, I'm not sure exactly what very night is supposed to mean, if it's supposed to mean very dark or very late. I'm not sure exactly, but it actually translates meaning very night. The top notes to this is lemon and lemon verbena, which is actually one of my very favorite citrus notes, and iris. The heart notes is lavender, violet. Spicy notes, base notes is ambergris, sandalwood. Now, let's get rid of these notes, and I'll tell you what I think of this, and I'll tell you exactly what I smell. Forget the notes. I don't care about the notes right now. I'll tell you what I smell. And I've wore this plenty of times, and I get basically pretty much the same thing every time I wear this. So from the very opening, from the very first spray, initial spray, for about 3.5 hours, I get a very sweet violet balm. And I'm talking very, very sweet, very thick, sweet violet. Now, I do get a hint of other things. I get a little bit of lemon or lemon-like, a lemon-like note in the opening, but the sweet violet sort of overpowers everything in the opening for the first 3.5 hours, and I can just barely detect other notes. So it's basically an extremely sweet violet for the first 3.5 hours. There's not much of a mid to this other than that extremely sweet violet sort of like calming down a little bit. That's basically what the mid is to me. And then actually, to me personally, it actually doesn't develop until the dry down, which is the only thing that saves this fragrance to me, is the dry down. In the dry down, I get a beautiful, creamy, beautiful sandalwood. Even though I still do get a little bit of that sweet violet. But that's basically it. That's basically everything that I get from this fragrance. And I know I've watched, I think, pretty much every fragrance review that there is on YouTube that other fragrance reviewers have done. And I know mine is sort of really opposite from everybody else's. I know other people, other reviewers get so much more. They get a lot of citrus in the opening. They get the iris and they get the spicy notes and ambergris and all that stuff. I do not. Basically, what I told you is exactly what I get every single time I wear this. So it's just basically extremely sweet violet and a beautiful creamy sandalwood. And the creamy sandalwood is the only thing that saves this from being a complete disaster as far as I'm concerned. And actually the bottle, I think the actual bottle is actually pretty cool. I like the bottle a lot. It has a great atomizer on it, a great cap. So there's actually two things that saves this fragrance: the bottle itself and the dry down. But I was actually thinking about something. I do not care for this fragrance. I don't even think it's actually a really good clone of Green Irish Tweed. A lot of people say it's the closest thing you can get to it. I can't really compare it side by side right now because right at this moment, I do not have Green Irish Tweed. But I remember what it smells like, and I think this sort of smells a little bit like it, but I don't think it's that good of a clone of it myself personally. But actually I had an idea. I don't care for this at all except for the dry down because it's just extremely sweet and like a violet balm, like I said. So I don't really enjoy it. There's been a few times that I actually wanted to wash this off my skin the first, 3.5, 4 hours. But I think it was one of my most recent reviews was another fragrance that I do not care for whatsoever that most people love in the fragrance community. I don't care for this either. L'Homme Ideal Cologne by Guerlain. I don't care for this. And this actually is sort of like polar opposite from this because this is so sweet and floral and this is so citrusy and dry. And I thought it would be a brilliant idea to actually layer these two together. It would sort of like they would sort of balance each other out. This would help this from being too sweet and floral and vice versa. I think it would just like, these two layered together, I think would be absolutely perfect. So that's going to be my experiment for tonight, is layering these two together, and I'm going to be doing that the next couple of days, and finding out if I could fall in love with these, but actually together. That's another thing I wanted to bring up is if you have a fragrance that you do not like, don't give it away, don't throw it away. Find a way to use it, like layering it. Like if you have one that's like you don't like for a specific reason, find another fragrance that you think could actually help that fragrance and layer them together. And that way you could like create something from two fragrances that would create something beautiful. That's exactly what I'm going to do, and I'll let y'all know about that in the next day or two. Hopefully I'll do another review tomorrow, and maybe I'll let y'all know tomorrow how this went. But anyway, I hope y'all got something from this. Layer, have fun with it, man. Blending and layering. A lot of people don't do that, but there's a lot that do, and I think it's fun to do. I could have easily got rid of these, but I could actually, when I layer these together, if it works really well, which I think it will, I could create a fragrance by layering these that would create a fragrance that would last me. I mean, this is, 200 mils right here. This would last me like well over a year, if it works out doing that together with them. But anyway, I hope y'all got something from this. And hopefully y'all will see me tomorrow or the next day maybe. But anyway, I love you guys and I will talk to y'all later. All right, bye.